What is up, guys and girls? Hurricane Liz here. Why am I wearing this stupid hat? You're going to find out that and a heck of a lot more, especially how to put a girl over the edge to jump on with your agency, even if you're asking for 50-50. A lot of people have asked about that and asked, how the hell do I convince them to do that? Well, I'm going to talk about exactly how I push them over the edge and make them beg to work with you. So all that and a heck of a lot more. I'm fired up for this video. I hope you're fired up. Let's do this. All right, so first things first, I practice what I preach. I was out in Atlanta this weekend recruiting some girls at Tattletale. That was a lot of fun. Clearly, I had a great time. But let's talk about this technique that I like to use in order to push girls over the edge. And what I mean by this is we've already talked about proving to girls that you are legit. Once you can do that by using the techniques that I shared in the other videos, a lot of times you're going to come across a standard objection. And I especially see this objection when you're dealing with a very high caliber girl. And we're talking about a girl that has already hundreds of thousands of Instagram subscribers. They could have 40, 50, even 30,000. And they might come to you and say like, well, Liz, I already have like all this following and my other agency only took 30% or 40%. So you're going to come across this shit quite often. So I'm going to tell you how I convince them and push them over the edge to still agree to my 50-50%. And it's a sales technique that I like to use. And I use not just in sales when I'm selling other things, but most importantly, it works with these girls like magic. But let me first remind you, okay, I got to remind you of something before we continue. First thing is my email is below in case you do want to talk about either having my agency represent you as a creator or trying to learn some of these advanced tactics for yourself and to grow your agency exponentially. It's below. Send me a shout out and I will be more than happy to jump on a call with you. But let's get back to this technique. First and foremost, you want to treat recruiting these girls like sales, right? And in sales, you're ultimately, of course, you're selling the product and or service, which in this case is your agency. In this case, it is selling yourself. So you're basically pimping yourself out. You're going to sell yourself and sell them on going with you as an agency. So the way that you approach this is as you should any sales call. Ultimately, you want to find out the problems she has and or what she's looking for. And the way that you do this is through questioning, through asking her a series of questions. But in the beginning, when you start to frame this out to get her on the call for this and to see where she's at, you start with that. Say like, all right, so, I wanted to jump on this call to find out where you are right now and where you'd like to be and see if there's any way that we can help you get there with what we offer. So that's how you start it out. That's how you open up the call. That way you make it seem like, hey, if there's any opportunity for us to possibly work together, we don't obviously work with everyone. However, we're going to see if we can work together and we can help you get from where you're at to where you want to be. So that's how you first start it. But after you do an initial line of questioning, you build a sort of rapport with her and you get her a little bit more comfortable with what you're about. You can even start by saying just a blurb about yourself. You really don't want to make this about yourself. Obviously, you should have a website and shit like that that talks more about who you are and does all the bragging for you, testimonials and all that good stuff. But here's the important part. You've got to find out, because this will be the icing on the cake. And this is how we take girls over the edge and make them pretty much want to sign up with us regardless of what we're asking, which in this case is 50-50. So you've already found out whatever percentage she's getting from her agency. And what you need to find out next, and this is vitally important, you've got to find out what was wrong with her and her agency, what was wrong with the relationship, what they did poorly, what she felt they lacked in doing, and what she felt they could have done in order to have made it an overall better experience and in order to have made her job easier and her overall a much happier person. When you do this, now you're gaining valuable information. I'm telling you, this information is almost should be illegal to collect, because now you know how to pitch yourself to her. So regardless of what her objections are, which you will have some objections. I'll kind of give you an example in a minute of a girl that I just was on the phone with yesterday. And the way that me and my partner usually do this is we do this with good cop, bad cop. So if we know we've got a girl that already has a following, in this particular girl's case, she has about 50,000 IG followers, about 4,000 TikTok followers. And I happen to know what her split was with her agency. She was getting a 60-40 split where she was getting the 60%. But I also already from a previous conversation knew that she was not too happy, primarily because she didn't really feel that she was growing that much. And she felt that they were collecting too much and were doing very little, which in fact, when we went through a whole collection phase and we audited the account to see what the heck was going on, we in fact found out that they were really not doing anything. She was just posting her Instagram videos. She wasn't even doing TikTok. She was just doing not even Instagram videos, Instagram stories and pictures, and she was just getting followers like that. And to be quite honest, her Instagram stories suck. Like, she really doesn't do anything. They're all poorly done, and just no advice, no hand holding for her whatsoever. She really had no clue what was going on. And in general, although she had communication with them, she'd never met them in person, and she just wasn't sure what she was doing other than, or what they were doing for her other than just the chatting. So she was confused. She wanted to grow. She didn't feel she was growing enough. And so I already knew everything that she had that wasn't working with them. And when my partner got on the phone, he had found out that she had been getting a 60-40 deal. And so she was talking as if we were going to get 40%. So he basically told me, like, look, we got to make things clear to her that we're going to do 50% or nothing. And so we jumped on a call with her. And when we were both on the call, he basically laid out what he found in his audit, which I do recommend. If you haven't done an audit, let me know below in the comments. I'll be more than happy to show you how we do our audit. And we kind of show them where they're at now and where we think they should be with solid traffic building and marketing on our end, since we're 50-50 partner, and then her content creation on her end. So I show them where they're at right now and where they could or should be based off of having everything in place. And that includes the things that I just talked about. So he got her on there. He told her what he found, what they were doing, things that she wasn't even aware of. So he kind of went through all of what he discovered when he was looking on her profile. And what it turns out happened is she was kind of surprised at some of the things that were going on that she wasn't even aware of. That was the first thing. So that was like, holy shit, like, wow, I can't believe they were doing that. But then he dropped the bomb on her that we would be able to proceed and clean up her profile and begin to work on it as long as she agreed to 50-50. And so at that point, you could tell she was kind of in shock. She was a little upset because ultimately this girl was happy with 60-40, but she didn't feel they were doing enough. So she genuinely wanted like 70-30. She wanted more. She felt she deserved more. So at that point, right as she was about to go into a complaint, I said, I told her by her name, I said, you know what, just give me 1 minute here to explain something to you. Now, you've said in the past that you were upset about this. And then I basically just laid out what she had said about them not promoting her, them not doing anything in addition to just chatting to help her grow her account. And I explained that she was upset. And I said, it's understandable that you're upset because I do believe that you should be making a great deal amount more. In fact, this is what our calculations show you should be making, and you could be making if you continue to do your end of the bargain and put in the required work. However, it's never going to happen if you've got an agency that's not reinvesting in you. So then I laid out the fact that they've not reinvested in her. We showed her evidence that nothing's been shown that she's doing anything else on any other platform where traffic gets created. And I said to her, and the problem that I see is, I understand you're 60-40 and you would like better, but my thoughts to you are, why don't you just take a chance on going with us 50-50, and we will reinvest to start at least that extra 10% so that we can already start generating more traffic to your pages, getting more fans for you, and essentially creating more value for your fans, and more than likely putting a lot more money in your pocket. On top of that, if you continue to live up to your end of the bargaining, create all the content that we ask you to, in the following couple weeks, we'll even continue to invest more of the money that we make and bring it out of our own pocket to put into your profile and to grow your OnlyFans. And that basically set her over the edge. She didn't even need to say anything else. I didn't need to say anything else. She was in just when I told her that. And I said to her, Like, I guarantee this is going to be a heck of a lot better, and it's going to get you to where you want to be, as well as where I think you should be. This set her over the edge. She was in, it was game over. And that's the technique that I wanted to share with you guys that is pretty simple, easy, and effective to use, and will 100% convince your girls to be on board with your plan and your vision. And again, even if you are your own management support staff, it's really important to learn to reinvest some of the money that you make into your business to grow your business exponentially in this case. So that's it for this tip. Again, like I said before, my email is below in case you want to send me an email. I'd be more than happy to jump on a call and talk about how we can exponentially grow your OnlyFans business together. So that's it for this video. I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully I won't be hitting the tattletales of the world too hard.